Yes, well, it seems your boy has an abnormal defect of moral control. It only affects boys. That was a really sentence. Since we're making that big book full of mind things, do you want to add that one weird impulsive thing? It's too much work. What do you want to call it? Hyperkinetic impulse disorder. We need a new name. Yeah, I completely agree. Some of them just aren't hyperactive. They'd be internally hyper? You know what, never mind. Just call it ADD with hyperactivity or without. It could be internal. You know what? Yeah, screw it. That's too much work. Just write two names. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. Alright, so we'll just call it ADHD and we'll have an impulsive hyperactive type, an inattentive type, and the combined type. Just need to switch types to presentation. Switch it to presentation. I don't give a fuck. TikTokers calling it Dave. That's fucking awesome.
Oh, it's okay. I'll do that later. I have tons of time. Do you though? Do you know how time works? Blink. It's been an hour. Blink again. It's been 2 weeks. Have you done the thing?
1, 2, 3, 4.
What you know about rolling down
She gon' run away when it gets.
You are falling! You are not falling, you are in bed!
I am so cold.
I am hot.
I am cold.
I am hot.
I am so cold.
One sheep, two sheep.
You are a sheep, you spineless coward! Sleep on your right
Sleep
side.
on your left
Sleep
side.
on your right
Sleep
side.
on your left.
Only-
Did I take out my contacts?
Who killed JFK? Who did it? Who the fuck did it?
Chicken nugget.
I am so cold.
I sweat on the
I am
blanket.
so freezing.
I sweat on the blanket.
Castaways. We are castaways.
Watch porn.
Remember that time the guy from Hinge opened your drawer and it was filled with hemorrhoid cream?
What disorders do I have? Let's find out! Eat peanut butter from a spoon. Pluto is a dog and Goofy is a dog. Why are they treated so differently?
Goofy is a cow. You fucking liar. Goofy is not a cow. Do not lie to me.
8 a.m., a healthy night of 0 hours of sleep.
Time to sleep.
Welcome back to another hyper-specific, burnt-out, gifted, and talented kid put a finger down challenge. You're not gonna like this one. Put a finger down if you're familiar with living in a dual reality with yourself where on one side of the coin, you're uplifted and lauded and praised for being the perfect golden child, perfect straight-A student, but then you come home and you can barely keep your room clean and complete basic daily care tasks. Put a finger down if that disconnect between being lauded publicly and struggling privately made you internalize this idea that secretly you're a fake and a failure and there's something wrong with you. Put another finger down if this gave you a wild case of the people pleasers. Put another finger down if you read voraciously because you unconsciously were using books as an escapism for dealing with any of those feelings, and now, as a grown-up, you haven't touched a book in years. Put one last finger down if any of these books kicked off a hyperfixation phase for you. Sorry.
There. I'm a mental health creator here on TikTok. As you can see, I have the name of my disorder in my username. As well, I have a following greater than 4 digits. So you should trust that I know exactly what I'm talking about and listen to me implicitly, because I am an expert on the subject matter. Wrong. This goes for me and this goes for every other creator on this platform. Unless they are actually a professional on here, and trust me, they will tell you, they are not a professional. And even if they are, they can't diagnose you here. Take everything that everybody says on this app with a grain of salt, or in some cases, a bag. And that includes me. I'm not a professional, I'm not infallible. And if I'm wrong, call me out. The same goes for every other creator. If they're wrong, call them out. Yes, 100%, use the information that you're given on this platform. If it can help you, fantastic. But don't expect to be diagnosed here. Do research from reliable sources, and if you can, see a medical professional.
A lot of people ask me what RSD is. It's one of the least known symptoms of ADHD, and yet, in my opinion, it is the most destructive. It's not more well known because you can't really measure the response. It's near impossible to verbalize the experience. It's not a medical diagnosis, but it is a form of emotional dysregulation characterized by intense, unbearable pain in response to teasing, rejection, or criticism, either perceived or real. The response is disproportionate to the trigger. It's not social anxiety though, because RSD can get worse the more you get to know someone. We assume any rejection is due to our own inferiority or incompetence, so rejection from close friends, devastating. Researchers estimate that kids with ADHD get 20,000 more negative comments by the age of 12 than other kids their age. Not total, 20,000 more. By the time we're adults, we almost have a trauma response to it. Unfortunately, RSD is untreatable with cognitive or dialectical behavioral therapy. There are some medications, but because it's not a formal medical diagnosis, those are kind of hard to get. But at least for me, knowing that it's RSD and not me has made things a lot easier to rationalize. Hope this helps.
How far would you drive for the girl of your dreams?
I would drive anywhere.
What about to Nebraska?
Oh,
Would you go to Nebraska?
no.
Sometimes I feel like I'm breaking the fourth wall with myself, where I'm finding out things about me that I kind of wish I didn't know. My newest one, and I think this falls under like the I'm so quirky and neurodivergent and I can't actually hold a conversation, is that my instinct is to lie my way through everything because I think it's more convenient. I don't know why I think that, because if someone were to ask me like, have you been to this restaurant? And I say no, it's really no different than if I say yes. Same thing with like movies. If someone's like, oh my God, have you seen this movie? I'll be like, oh my God, yeah, like I love it. Or bands or something. I just always say yes. And I don't, like, it doesn't make a difference. It does not make a difference by seeing it. I was at my friend's house and I'd met his roommate for the first time, and we were talking about something because he works in the town that I grew up in, and he was like, oh my God, have you been to this restaurant? And I was like, oh my God, I love it. They have the, and then he filled in the blank with something random, and I was like, yes, literally, it's like the best taco. They're like best tacos in Indy. Best tacos in Indy. And he was like, yeah, honestly, I think so too. I go there like 3 times a week. And I was like, I literally grew up going there all the time. Never heard of it. And we talk about this place for like a half an hour, and Why?
Butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time. What are you doing? Peanut butter jelly time. Sorry, I'm vocal stimming. What in the is that? It's like how I fidget like this, but with my voice. Peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time. Why are you only saying peanut butter jelly time? Because that specific phrase is giving me the most stimulation. Peanut butter jelly time. It's so weird. Peanut butter jelly time.
If you have to tell somebody that something they did upset or hurt you, how do you do it? And if you just said, I wouldn't ever do that, then keep watching. For many people, like me, with neurodivergence, communicating can already be a challenge, but when you add a big emotion to it, it can be even harder. Many people with neurodivergency struggle to be able to express emotion, to articulate emotion, and to define emotion. And that means that sometimes it can be really hard to say, I am upset with you, especially if you have the little cherry on top of rejection-sensitive dysphoria, which can lead to a scenario where not only do you not know really how to express what you're feeling, but also you're terrified that if you say anything, they're going to hate you forever. One of the best ways to work on this is just to practice. Practice naming your emotions. Practice saying, I am upset, or I'm frustrated, or I'm angry. Practice communicating why and how you feel that way. Therapy can also be really useful in helping you unpack the why and how you struggle, and provide useful tools. What's the emotion that you have the hardest time expressing?
And now, a dramatic ADHD moods that I wish I didn't have to constantly experience but always will. Hey Will, did you remember to eat today? Absolutely not! Can you tell me the year that Glenn Campbell wrote the hit song Southern Nights that was used in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1? Absolutely, 1977, a great year for music. Isn't it really concerning that you know random facts but forget to feed yourself? You know, you've got a point, and that's because I've got ADHD, and people with ADHD tend to struggle with working memory, or short-term memory. And one of the big issues is that we'll have a thought, or we'll have a memory, or we'll generate something in our brain that will hold on for about 20 to 15 seconds, and then our brain won't encode it into long-term memory, which we then keep for a long time. So for example, today I was mowing the lawn, I was doing stuff outside, and I just forgot to eat. And then I walked into the kitchen to eat lunch, and I was like, what am I doing here?
I want to ask ADHD everything.
Yellow.
If you can talk a little bit more about masking.
Yeah, we can do that. All right, masking, a word with origins primarily in the autistic community. I've also heard it referred to as suppressing, camouflaging. I heard Alex drop a new one this morning, morphing. So apparently now we're superheroes and Power Rangers. I digress. For the most part, yeah, I think you nailed it. It's hiding and suppressing our stims, our urge to interrupt, the leg jitters, the excitement, stuff like that. And at the end of the day, it is bloody exhausting. All of this in order to fit in with neurotypical society. Now, you made the comparison to neurotypicals doing this as well, and you're not wrong. Have you ever worked in customer service? Here's Dad's shitty analogy for the day. You're a commission salesman. Somebody walks into the store, so you've got to strap on your customer service face because you really want to make that commission. I do it, you do it, and neurotypical does it. What they don't do is ramp it up to 15 because they're not trying to hide themselves to fit in, whereas most of us, we are.
You're really interested to learn when it starts becoming masking and stops just becoming a normal society behavior.
That's the $1 million question, ain't it? Because I've been doing it for so damn long, there are times I'll do it just out of force of habit. So what's the answer? I wish I knew. I don't know how much help that was, but there you go.
Do you remember being a kid and always feeling like you kind of had to hide your whole personality from people?
Yeah, why?
Then do you remember like in middle school thinking like, ooh, I'm so edgy because like no one knows the real me, right?
Yep, why?
And then do you remember like late high school, early college, you were like, nah, I was just like an edgy little middle school meme lord, like, what was I doing?
Yeah, why?
But then like it still happened in college and like early adulthood.
Yeah, why?
Have you ever heard of masking?
Yep, wait.
There you go, have some from me. Cheers to a caffeinated night. Cheers. Guys, it's kind of late. I actually don't think I should... That was not a good idea. What are you talking about? You have ADHD. It's not like the caffeine's gonna make you any hyper. No, literally, forget it. Yo, where's Mike? Oh, he's for sure bouncing off the walls right now.
I have something controversial to say today. ADHD is halfway made the fuck up. Hear me out.
Hi there, I see we're getting yelly and sweary today. I can get on board with that. Let's start with the good news.
I have to admit that there's a different way that we should be educating our fucking youth.
This is going to be the smartest thing that fell out of your face the entire video, so there's your kudos. Yes, the education system needs a major overhaul. If you would have just left it there, we wouldn't need to have the rest of this conversation. So take your cookie and go sit down.
The doctor gives the kid a prescription, he has to take the shit, and now he's a fucking drone with no personality.
Then change the meds. I'm going to take a short walk here and assume that you've never had to take a prescription like this in your entire life. Because even as an adult, it's going to be trial and error to find the right one that works for you because, what was that? Oh yeah, that's it. Not everybody's the fucking same. Different medications of all types work differently on different people, regardless what the fuck it is. So if the kid is a drone or a zombie, change the fucking meds or change the dose, which I'm willing to guess happens most times in order to help the child, but no, that's not controversial enough to pad your view count. So why talk about that part, right? Oh, too soon, I guess. And not that it's any of your fucking concern, but my kid didn't react to her first medication well either. So we changed the meds.
Meanwhile, the doctor just lined his pockets with the money of these fucking parents.
Newsflash, Super Sleuth. Not everybody with ADHD is medicated. Yeah, that includes kids. And in the grander scheme of your child's mental health, this argument is circumstantial at best. Yeah, in some places it's a major concern. But the only reason you slid that little nugget in is to add to the controversy of your claim. And what does that do? Survey says, further stigmatize a marginalized group on a public platform. Congrats, you get to be the ableist asshole of the day. If you want to address that topic, then address that topic. But don't try and use it as a fucking weapon to shame us further. We don't need your help.
Stop thinking that something is wrong with your child because they don't want to spend hours staring at a fucking board all day.
Okay, how about this one, doctor, whatever the fuck your name is? How about I start thinking that something might be wrong with my child when they start struggling with their executive functioning? How about I worry about my child when they start displaying the same symptoms I fight with that come with a genetic neurodevelopmental disorder? Seriously, what is it with you fucking self-proclaimed life coaches? Like, just because you tack those magical words on your profile, you somehow think your ignorant words should carry weight with anybody? You want to talk about things that are half made up? How about a field that requires no certification or education whatsoever? I'm going to tell you what I think you should do with your life. Shut the fuck up. Maybe you should worry about making your life pristine before opening your face about something you clearly know fuck all about. How about this? When the disorder starts affecting you and your life, maybe then you can stop making videos about Jersey girls, properly educate yourself on what the fuck you're battling about, and then add your voice to the conversation, constructively. Until then, fucking zip it. Your ignorance isn't helping anybody. You want to make it as any kind of a life coach, do better. Dad's out.
You don't always have to force yourself to do the thing. I have a specific video I've been wanting to stitch all day. I just haven't found the time to be able to put the effort I wanted to towards this video. Now it's 3 in the morning and I just don't want to do it. And that's okay! You don't have to do that giant pile of dishes. It doesn't change your value if you just leave it. You don't have to do all of the laundry. You're not a bad person if you wear the same shirt 2 days in a row. I think this one's on day 3. And there's no baby goo on this. That's impressive. But yes, those things do need to be done eventually. If you have the energy and mindset to be able to do it now, do it! But if you don't, I'm giving you permission to let it slide for a little bit. You need to eat? Wash a plate and a fork. Just mix your laundry together and do a load that will get you everything you need. We never sort our laundry. It's okay if you do things the wrong way. The right way is the way that helps you best. Go do you. Have a good day.
It's brutal out here.
Oh good, you're home. How was vacation? Yeah, been back a couple days. Yeah. Did you have fun? Oh, it was good. Well, except for the entire time imagining how I was gonna die in various ways and never see my children ever again. Okay. That was neat, but not really far from the norm, so whatever. Does that happen often? I mean, yeah, but usually with less exotic scenarios, less ocean and plane situations involved, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's just get your bags unpacked. Oh, yeah, no. I did reorganize my bookshelves by color. That does seem on brand. I know, right? Clearly the most productive use of your time. I thought so. Welcome back. I mean, it is good to be home, so.
Watermelon sugar high. Watermelon sugar high. Watermelon sugar high. Watermelon sugar high.
Welcome to ADHD Fact or Cap. I believe I'm using that term correctly. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most common misconceptions about ADHD medication, that they turn you into a drug-seeking addict. Here's the thing. Many people with ADHD struggle with addiction. In fact, about 15% of people with ADHD struggle with drug and alcohol abuse, which means that people with ADHD struggle with addiction at rates about 3 times higher than the neurotypical population. That's pretty significant. But here's the thing. Yes, ADHD meds are controlled substances. For a reason. Because they have to be prescribed and used properly. Studies have shown over and over again that properly treating ADHD actually lowers your risk of substance abuse and addiction. Necessarily have to include medication, but medication can be a useful tool for many people, and there is nothing wrong with needing medication to manage your ADHD. There's a lot of misinformation about medication going around on TikTok right now, so it's important to research, educate yourself, and talk to your doctor if you have questions.
Here are 3 ways to assist your brain in creating dopamine when you don't have time to create it yourself. Number 1, at least make sure that you're outside for half an hour a day. It's a well-known fact that low levels of sunlight or natural air can actually reduce the amount that your neurotransmitters can stay open in order to receive natural amounts of dopamine. Number 2, reduce the stressors inside of your lives. Now, stress is very, very well known to actually close our dopamine receptors. It actually makes it almost impossible for us to receive high amounts of dopamine in the times we're incredibly stressed. Now, that being said, hear me out, because stress is sometimes a part of our lives. What can we do about it? That's why I said stressors. A stressor is something like, I don't know, some weeds growing outside of the side of your building. You know that you don't need to do that. You know you can pick it, you can do something about it, and you haven't yet. And it's a consistent stress when we look at it. Do something about it. And number 3, stay away from processed sugar. It causes what's called fake dopamine, and it actually trains our brain into not creating dopamine naturally anymore.